hello to whoever your ravishing co-host is this week. Garr here. Just wondering if you had any travelling advice for a British furry visiting the States sometime this year. Love the show. Keep up the good work. Be seeing you. Hello to Garr once more at your service. Many thanks for the advice last week. This trip should be fun. But it would seem there's a good chance I'd be stranded in Detroit for a few days. So I have to wonder just what or whom is a furry to do to pass the time in such a place. Keep safe. Be seeing you. Hello once again, my dear two. Who would I battle to death for my pleasure? It would have to be Lord Byron versus the Marquis de Sade. To see the sheer depraved depths of their fatally combined decadence and perverse debauchery would truly be a marvel to behold. Ah, hello, my furry darlings. It was suggested for me to do a Garr's Word of the Week segment, and how could I refuse the chance to purvey the succulently seductive possibilities of even the most mundane regions of the English vocabulary? I thought I'd start off with a word that I've really come to love over the past few weeks. Rapacious. It's one of those marvellous words that just drips from the tongue with every recitation. It describes that forceful hunger, the lustful, ravenous pursuit to have your way in absolutely everything you desire. Well, until next time, be seeing you. Greetings. Due to the woeful lack of anything much to keep me entertained through these long, hot summer days, I've taken my studies into the ruins of a nearby castle. It was as I wandered through these remnants of the ruined extravagance that I found my thoughts turn toward that quality which all too often is found lacking these days. That certain quality of grandiloquence, of doing things with an elegant flamboyance and lofty lavishness. As Oscar Wilde once said, moderation is a wonderful thing, but nothing succeeds like excess. Once more, my utmost greetings. Through the course of my many travels, I have found, as any who get around will tell you, before long you tend to acquire what is known as a vademecum, a most useful and versatile item that you are rarely found without. It can be anything from a large walking stick to aid your stride and beat off any brigands ever across you, to a handy pocket knife, or, if you fancy, the eternally versatile towel. Now, as many of you listen to this, I am currently somewhere high above the Atlantic Ocean, as it were, coming your way. Wish me luck. Be seeing you. Hello once again. It's so nice to let loose once in a while, to surrender any responsible nature and indulge in a frenzy of wild, hedonistic, unbridled exuberance. In essence, to be corybantic. When appropriately balanced, there is much to be said for allowing yourself to be so wonderfully out of control. Hello once again. Not a hugely elaborate word this week, but one which has, for one reason and another, most firmly embedded itself in my mind. It is Iliad. A word brought back from the old days of the Raj, describing that thing which for so long has been regarded as mystical, not only mathematically beautiful, but magically powerful, and also thoroughly pleasurable. It is simply a group of 9. It is nice to have a more specific name for such events. Simply calling them orgies every time seems somehow lacking in grandiloquence. Be seeing you. Hello again. Tu's mentioning of vegetables the other week jolted my memory back to the good old days of the old Hellfire Club, and especially their prolifically perverse methods of punishment, a favourite of which was drawn from the darkest depths of antiquity. It was called Rapanidze, and involved the unfortunate deviant cad being taken in front of his fellows and having a large radish forcefully inserted into his fundament. And just to be certain there were no misunderstandings, they made sure the point was hammered home. Most interestingly, it was actually one of America's founding fathers who was the last known person to be radished at the Hellfire. Be seeing you.
Wow.
So it was like it was a punishment.
Yeah.
Somebody getting a large radish hammered in their ass.
Yeah.
And there's a word for that, and Garr knows it.
Yeah.
Garr is cool.
Awesome.
Hello again. Garr Zane once more at your service. It was as a group of fellow Brits and I dragged ourselves back from Eurofrance, still buzzing from the all-night furry rave, that I got the chance to watch our dishevelled group's slow progress back to Dusseldorf. I couldn't help but notice a trend I've seen so many times in travelling with furs, what can only be described as tergiversation, the utter unwillingness to do things the easy way, or take any kind of straightforward action. But I guess some furs just love to make things hard. Be seeing you. Hello once again. By popular demand and thanks to the ravishing Galford, I now have my own site. If you want to take a look, head over to garr.co.uk. That's Garr with 2 R's. Anyway, we're all such busy people these days. These past few months, for me at least, have been an almost constant rush of different people, places, jobs and countries. A fur can get quite tired. I rather look forward to the coming days where I can once again, for a time at least, just kick back and be lavishly faineant. To simply lie idle with no goal or concern, just faineantly relaxed. Not that many will allow me to lie idle for long. No rest for the wicked. Be seeing you. Hello again. As the summer wanes, slowly conceding the days once more to the ever-encroaching darkness, the mind is often filled with memories of sun-warmed days and wild nights. Of course, the immeasurable pleasure of the company to be kept there is always at the forefront of the mind. Such sumptuous dreams can only be described as mellifluous, flowing as sweet and smooth as honey, and as tranquil as a golden leaf upon the river. It is a brief respite between the hedonistic delights of summer and the dark pleasures of the coming winter. Be seeing you. Hello again. There are times we are reminded of death's place as our constant companion in this world. In these often all too somber times, I find it most refreshing to fall back on the anacreontic ways of old, the often Bacchanian celebration of life and love. As the old adage says, eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die. Be seeing you. Hello once more. With the chill days of the British autumn, making the outside world more inhospitable by the day, we look to partake in more sheltered activities. Especially after the long twilight trek home from work, nothing quite hits the spot like a sensual massage. The oils slowly reviving the cold muscle with a touch of a caliphatians. A substance that, when rubbed upon the flesh, draws forth a sensation of deep, penetrating warmth. Perfect for loosening up the muscles of whatever frolics the night may hold.
be seeing you.